So, what happens when you're driving in your Tesla and your battery hits 0? If only there was a way to take the old, boring red gas can and transform it for the modern age with batteries inside and give your vehicle a little bit of extra emergency juice. Maybe that's now possible. And what about if you lost power at home? Wouldn't it be nice if some of the essential stuff could be running and you had a big battery to plug things into and get right back online? I have been wanting to run these experiments for years so I could give the answer to you guys, and while the perfect portable power solution doesn't typically just fall out of the sky, well, for this video, it kind of did. This is the Mango Power E. It is a portable power station that's got all the plugs and capacity and power on here to basically power anything. I want to see exactly how this could work for Tesla owners and what exactly you could do with this, and also what kind of range this could add to your vehicle. Huge thanks to Mango Power for sending this unit over and sponsoring this video. I've got a lot of tests I want to run to see what this thing can do, so let's get started. So before we start plugging things in and building our own portable power grid, let's take a quick look at the hardware to see exactly what we've got to work with here. So on the front, you've got 4 full-size AC outlets, up to 3,000 watts total to power anything you want to plug in. You've got 6 USB-A ports pushing 24 watts, 2 USB-C ports, one at 65 watts and one super fast one at 100 watts. You've got a 12-volt car outlet and then 2 DC plugs. And then this little port right here, this is going to be the holy grail for the experiments we're going to run. This is a NEMA TT30 port. You could use this to typically like power RVs and stuff like that, but you could also use it to charge your car. And we'll see what this thing can do for our Tesla just in a moment. You've also got a nice built-in screen here so you can actually see what's going on and see the status of everything. And then also nice flexibility as well when it comes to actually the power input and recharging the big battery inside. You've got your regular old grid AC port for plugging this into a wall to get it traditionally recharged. Also solar input as well. And then also there's an E+ port you can use for expansion. So yes, if you wanted to build a more custom bespoke system and have multiple of these and really kind of build your own little power grid, you can do that. But also, if you've got one unit, there's also a ton you can do just with this one as well. And I promise we're going to run some tests and see what this can do, but now that you know the inputs and the outputs and what we're looking at, we've got to talk about the battery. Like, what is the actual capacity here? What does that mean? And who is the actual maker of these cells? Because this is actually very important. These are LFP cells made by CATL. And if that name sounds familiar, they are a very popular company, extremely popular, of course, in the EV space, because they make a lot of the different battery technology for tons of electric vehicles around the world, including our dear beloved Teslas that use CATL cells. I think they're making some of the most advanced battery tech out there. There's a reason why Tesla and others work with them, because they're doing a lot of the stuff that others can't, which is why it's super exciting that they're actually CATL cells in this pack. So you kind of have the best of the best to work with here, and of course, a ton of capacity to match. And that capacity is 3,533 watt hours. That's about 95 of those regular 10,000 milliamp hour battery packs you would use to charge your stuff up on a trip, or 200 fully charged iPhones, or more energy than like 1,000 AA batteries. Or my favorite comparison, it's about 5% of the capacity of a typical Model Y, which doesn't sound like a lot, but to think that you can get 5% of a giant vehicle's capacity in this thing that you can actually move around, has built-in wheels and a handle, is pretty crazy, which again starts to lead us to wonder, what exactly can you do with this thing? Right off the bat, one use case that makes so much sense is to use this to back up essential products in your home when you inevitably lose power, which for me seems to happen all the time. I don't know where you guys live, but here in kind of the central Pennsylvania area, the weather seems to change like on a minute-by-minute basis, and whenever there is a thunderstorm happening or a heat wave or really anything, the grid seems so fragile, but that is exactly where this is here to help, because this is something that doesn't require any gasoline, any noisy motors, any smelly fumes. It can sit silently and has the capacity to run what you need in a power outage. So this could just be a really easy way to make sure you always have internet with Starlink or charging up all your devices devices if the power grid goes down, or more importantly, it's going to keep your refrigerator running. So you're not going to lose and spoil all your food. Or if you've got a portable AC, it's going to keep you cool and comfortable in a heat wave when everybody else is kind of suffering because, again, the grid is down. This is where this thing really, really matters, and where the investment in the versatility and the capacity and the power makes a lot of sense. And then one other use case I personally wanted to try was adding some portable power to places that desperately need it, like this little shed I've got back here. Now, this shed itself is very unremarkable. It was here when we moved into this house, but I always wanted to get power to this because obviously the car is right here. I've got a smoker here, a Traeger unit that needs to be powered. I've got robot lawnmowers that all have their own docks and chargers and a bunch of things that could really benefit from power. The problem is there is no power. The only closest power I have is here, so I'm running a bunch of extension cords and people are tripping on it. It's just a mess. And to actually get official power there, like running a whole new conduit and line, would be super, super expensive. But I think Mango Power might solve this problem and power all this stuff. Now, obviously, this is very much just a proof of concept, but just to show you what I mean, this actually works out quite well. I've got the unit inside of here, and it's already working beautifully. So not only am I able to add a bunch of chargers for robot lawnmowers, and I've got the dock and stuff for this little guy right out here that has to sit by the lawn, but also I've got my smoker plugged in. I can add some more chargers, add a Starlink if I wanted to, get a nice little unit here to give the cars Wi-Fi for updating their software, and also even a portable AC unit, because I have this and thought, well, it'd be really nice to come in here and have it cooled, and sure enough, it works quite beautifully. I can turn this thing on, get some AC going, and all running off of this thing, doing just an amazing job. Okay, so you can easily use it to power appliances in the event of an outage, and even use it to kind of be a portable power solution and add power when you normally wouldn't have it. Great for camping, being outdoors. But what about charging your car? Back to that original analogy at the beginning of the video, if your vehicle hits empty, you run out of juice, and you're away from a supercharger, what do? Now, the analogy of like a gas can isn't quite ready for the EV scene just yet, but if you wanted to eke out a little bit more range, like let's say 3, 4, 5%, enough to make the difference between you being stranded and making it to a supercharger, or even a regular charger at that point, this might actually be perfect. Now, there are a couple of different ways you can do this, but just to show you, I've got my portable power station here doing the work and charging my Tesla, and everything is going swimmingly well, charging at about 7 miles per hour. And you can do this a couple of ways. You can use one of these regular 120 volt AC outlet plugs, gonna work beautifully on here, or you could even use the higher amperage port as well. For example, if you go with Tesla's mobile connector, which all of the cars come with these days, they come with your regular set of adapters, but also you can buy a special adapter for that NEMA TT30 plug, and then has the special port on the other end. So you could go that way, you could go with a third-party charger, but as you can see, it works, and it's really cool because this lets me charge my Tesla basically anywhere. For me, I've honestly had so much fun testing this thing. It has been so fun to create my own little portable power station in my shed and find out what you can do with the Tesla. But even beyond that stuff, I think practically speaking, the peace of mind is just so nice. Again, as someone who lives in a very volatile grid area, just having that ability to power my home when things go down is super nice. And I really appreciate what Mango Power did with thinking of the little things, from all the different ports you have to plugging things in. You've got the ability to recharge this thing super easily. In fact, even if you're at empty, you can recharge it in about an hour and a half. So if you guys want to learn more about the Mango Power E, see more use cases, see some of the expansion stuff, and just learn more, I think it's a wonderful investment you should consider. I'll throw a link down below. And a big thanks again to them for sponsoring this video. Really fun to check it out and see what we can do with portable power solutions in 2026. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, links to all the info down below. Thanks, guys. As always, I'm Robert Rosenfeld. I'll see ya in the next one.